Well, the Phillies' tour of first-place teams in the National League continued tonight at Central Division leading Cincinnati as Jeff Juden took to the mound against the Reds' John Smiley, but they didn't take it on time after a couple of rain delays. The first lasted 35 minutes. The delay didn't seem to hurt the Phillies in the field, especially Dave Gallagher in the first. Watch this catch he makes on the smash by Reggie Sanders. Looks like Willie Mays there. The run scores on the sac fly, 1-0 Cincinnati. Jeff Juden was otherwise in control. He gets Ron Gant swinging in the sixth. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits he gave up, and it would stay that way, 1-0. The Phils did get a man on in the ninth with 1 out, but a fly to center by Lenny Webster ends it 1-0. The final, John Smiley wins it for the Reds. He is 11-1. In the American League, the baseball world anxious for the return of Darryl Strawberry for the Yanks. Not. In his first at-bat, he gets his first American League hit, a single of Jose Lima. Could be a trivia question, Jim. Remember that, Jose Lima. But that was the last time Darryl got on base, and this night he hit a long one in the sixth, but it's an out. Strawberry 1 for 4 on the night, but the Yankees did win it for George Steinbrenner, 4-1 over Detroit. Your final score there. Elsewhere, Boston 7-1 over Toronto. Manny Ramirez hit his 25th for the Tribe. They dumped Chicago. Milwaukee over Baltimore 12-4, and it's Minnesota leading Kansas City by a run in the 8th in the National League. Florida over New York 7-2. It's Atlanta with Greg Maddux is now 12-1. They defeat Montreal by a run, and it's Houston in the first game of a doubleheader over Pittsburgh by a run. Houston about to sweep that one. They lead it in the 7th inning. On the eve of the Eagles' first preseason game versus Atlanta, many fans wonder how the Birds will adapt to a number of changes made in the offseason. One of those changes is losing a 5-time Pro Bowler. He's cornerback Eric Allen. How will the Eagles cope? Our Mike Dardis has the story.
At 5 feet 7 inches tall and only 148 pounds, he ranks among the league's smallest. But opposing QBs will tell you that Eagles cornerback Mark McMillan plays much bigger than that. Last season, Mark started all 16 games at left corner, but he played in the shadow of Pro Bowler Eric Allen. But plenty has changed since then. Allen will suit up for the Saints in '95. McMillan is now the man in the Eagles secondary.
That was a major loss, losing Eric. He's one of the top corners in the league. So, it's time for me to pick it up because everyone's going to look at me to make the big plays that Eric was making. So, it's going to be a lot of pressure on me. But ever since I've been here, it's been a lot of pressure. So it's nothing new to me.
Mark had an all-pro year to me in watching the films last year. The guy we were really worried about is at the right corner spot, which is Derek Frazier, and right now he's on pace to be our starting right corner.
It's taken Derek Frazier 2 seasons to reappear near the top of the Eagles' depth chart. He suffered a serious knee injury in a preseason game back in 1993, but since then, he's turned a lot of heads, including Randall Cunningham's.
He was doing very well, and he was possibly going to be fighting for the starting job. Now they've moved him back, his knee's totally back, and right now he's really impressed me. He's one of those guys that's going to be the next Eric Allen for our team.
Whether he is or isn't the next Eric Allen, one thing is for sure. So far, the third-year pro is getting the job done in training camp and creating his own identity.
I think I'm always ready for a challenge, so I don't really worry about filling in everybody's shoes. I just try to play up to my potential. Like I said, I think everything will take care of itself.
Derek's competition this summer was supposed to come from second-round draft pick Bobby Taylor. But so far, the Notre Damer's taking just a little bit longer than expected to adjust to his new surroundings. Defensive coordinator Emmett Thomas does expect Taylor to get there eventually, but for now, that leaves Derek Frazier and Mark McMillan as the last line of defense. At Eagles camp in Westchester, this is Mike Dardis, Enquirer News Tonight.
All right, Bill Lyon has more on the Eagles and what he calls the farce of the NFL season. And it begins tomorrow night at the Vet. Let's join Bill at the diner as he tells us what's wrong with the preseason.
Tomorrow night at Veterans Stadium, Eagles, along with the rest of the National Football League, begin their August run of legalized extortion. What you see on your screen now is generic football scrimmage stuff. The same sort of thing at camp that you're going to see tomorrow night. The only difference is they'll have on the makeup and the lipstick, and they'll be wearing the gussied-up uniforms. But the Eagles and the rest of the NFL will charge you full price anyway. If you are a season ticket holder, you are required to buy tickets for both Eagles preseason home games. But what you will see is no different than what you can see for free at Westchester University. You have a $40 season ticket, you're paying $40 to see this game, in which you will not see Randall Cunningham do much more than take 3 or 4 snaps from center. You will not see Ricky Waters run more than once or twice with a football. What you'll see them doing is standing on the sidelines for 3/4 of the game, squirting water on their heated heads, laughing and joking, and trying desperately to stay away from being injured. As for those you do see playing, by the time you drink your morning coffee, they'll be long gone down that road of no return. They're a little more than cannon fodder, rented out by the National Football League teams just to serve as bodies. The Eagles will tell you, and they are correct, they have a legitimate point here, that they have expenses. That's why they charge for the preseason game. Fine. To meet those expenses, let's raise the regular season price a couple of dollars a game to make up for it. Then let's take those 2 preseason games and let's give those tickets to charity. The Eagles Fly for Leukemia comes to mind. It's admirable charity in every sense of the word. Why not give the tickets away to somebody who can use it and can't afford to spend the $40? One other possibility is to shorten the preseason. Make 2 of the 4 preseason games now count as part of the regular season. Go from a 16-game regular season to an 18-game regular season. At least that way you only have half the extortion. And for some of your $40, you'll actually get something.
But sometimes you've got guys fighting for positions just to make the team, so they're out there playing as hard as they can, and sometimes they show you something, but generally the games are boring. Anyone who wants my press pass, they can, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. The phone is ringing as we speak, boring or not. All right, we'll see what happens tomorrow night.
Yep.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. And when we come back, has the heat got you down? Join